Shall we start? Yeah?
This is a bit on.
Feel.
Hello, my name is. I'm going to introduce you to a new science, or perhaps an old science, depending upon one's viewpoint.
The film you are about to see has no characters. If you spare a little of your imagination, it is a film to describe to you the effect of cymatic frequency.
Dopamine is a chemical responsible for making you feel good.
Not showing our faces.
What makes the
music is one of the things which defines who we are. Each culture has its own particular style. These guys make it seem so effortless.
Go listen to all my music. It's the codes of who you are.
The notes are just thrown together. But that's simply an illusion.
You got to teach him about the code.
Yo, how's everybody doing? Welcome to another episode of Code Radio. Today I am with a new friend, someone I've met quite recently, in the last few years, I'd say, but someone who I've grown quite fond of, and especially their creative process and how they do things musically, not just their sound per se, but their vision. And I always respect people who kind of have their own vision and stand on their own and kind of don't just cross boundaries, but kind of have their way of doing things, and they make sure that they stick to it, whilst also, you know, we're in a time where the algorithm kind of rules everything. They kind of play to that as well, but you kind of see they do it in their way, which I think is not spoken about enough. Kind of when you see, you know, the gurus online telling you how to promote your music on social media, everyone kind of tells you to do it the way that the algorithm presents, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think there's also some people who do it their way. And I actually think that is more valuable to every artist, to do it your way rather than doing it how the system wants you to do it. Because if you did everything the way the system wanted you to do it, then I don't think half of the artists that we all know and love would exist. So that's just something to keep in mind, food for thought. But I want you to introduce Driftwood. How are you doing, brother?
Oh, good, bro. Wow. Yeah, that, even just hearing you say that just aligns with me. So, you know, so it's just so well versed, man. And it just right back at you, bro. Like I'm actually a really big fan of yours, and and I've been watching what you do for more than a minute, and it's just refreshing, man. And it tells me that there's creatives, there's people who are doing it for more than the attention value and the currency of reputation per se in the pop world, you know. Yeah. It's more about, I feel like there's some artists out there that are almost trying to play a deeper game within their own paradigm, and being understood is secondary to that. And I feel like you're one of those people, man. And it's just so much layers to it. So I'm grateful to be here. And that intro, it just, like I never do these podcasts, but that intro alone made me go, yeah. This is why I'm having this chat.
No, for sure. No, I'm grateful to have you on. I'm grateful we kind of spoke about this a while in the past, but I'm glad we kind of got to just have a brief conversation to some extent, because I guess we could talk, you could talk for hours, specifically. Like I've found that with a lot of artists, you can, we've all gone through our own different journeys, and we've all spoken about different things with other people. We've all learned so much. We've been through ups and downs. We have so much to talk about. So with artists, you could just literally have podcasts for hours and hours, but at the same time, you have to try to condense it. Well, you don't have to, there isn't really any rules there, but I say brief because I know that in reality, we could talk for 5-6 hours, no stress, about
easy.
Music, art, climate, everything that's going on today, whilst trying to not give too much of an opinion on politics, because that's something we artists just try to avoid, because everybody's different, and everyone, I think majority artists actually kind of respect those boundaries more than other people sometimes, because they create from a space of being judged. So they create from a space where you're putting your art out there for people to tell you whether it's good or bad. So you understand the nuance in being judged. So I think we don't have those same judgments that other people do, where they've maybe never been in a situation where anything that they personally believe or love is presented. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
totally, bro.
That's just what we got.
And I feel like it's interesting how you, as an artist, the responsibility is it's so much more than, art imitates life, so it's everything really. But the political landscape is just so sketchy, bro. And what you said there, I think it's the artist boundary to be more accepting, more inclusive, more boundary breaking, think further outside the box. And I think a lot of political viewpoints are more divided, more barrier up driven, more they're political, so they've got an agenda of some sort, even if it's so and art has the freedom of kind of saying the craziest shit and being like, well, fuck, I'm not a scientist.
Yeah, exactly. We move on how we feel more than facts in many cases. So that's not completely understandable. But what have you been up to, like musically?
Oh, bro, fuck.
In general, in life, how are you doing?
So life, bro. That's been, honestly, I feel like in life I'm on a bit of a winning streak. Wow. In this chapter of my life. There's so much to it. Like I don't know how deep we're supposed to go in these podcasts.
You can just express yourself. It's all good.
All right, cool. Because I never do these. So, but if anyone who knows me personally, I am a person that I'm a person that will chat, real. I'm not going to do it superficially. So if I'm going to have a conversation and I feel it's a safe space, I'll tell you what it is from my point of view. But on a personal level, I feel like I'm in such a strong aesthetic headspace. And I feel like for so long, you know, the struggle of having to protect my art while do a day job, like I've done every shit job under the sun, bro. Every terrible job. I was a garbo runner back in my area in Sydney, running behind the garbage truck. I was a bricklayer. I was a this, I was that. I had mates. I've done security. I've been a religious boy. I've been a this, I've been a that. So for me to get to a point where my creativity is further along the line and further realized, meaning it's getting closer to a vision that I can see, that I've been seeing in my head. It's not there yet, but it's definitely getting closer. And to have the freedom to express it is it's just a blessing, bro. And to be abroad, to be outside Australia, I haven't been able to bottle that up and describe it to people, you know. I definitely haven't been able. I try and do it through my visuals. I try and show some of the experiences, the people I meet, the connections, the way I feel about some of these countries, and the vibes that like just the magic, really. And I just haven't yet been able to do that. But it's a blessing, bro. Coming from a bubble like Australia, which is a bubble, it's a real bubble. So that's on that. The personal friendships and relationships takes a toll if you're on the run so much.
Of course.
So that's one side of it, which we can talk about if you want. But I don't know, man. I'm just living in a slipstream at the moment, and it's been really good. And creatively, I've been improving a lot, and I'm getting closer to what I think and what I consider being kind of a more quality aesthetic. So I'm always pushing for that.
That's good. That's cool. You said you was on a winning streak. Like, just talk about that a little bit. I mean, that's a great place to be in, especially from the perspective of feeling more importantly than being on the winning streak, feeling like you're on the winning streak, because I think that builds confidence and momentum just for yourself outside of, you know, releasing something or whatever. But just talk about kind of your winning streak. Like, when did you kind of realize that you was on a winning streak per se?
Man, you know, I just kind of pinch myself, bro. Like, I'm walking in, I'll be having a coffee in Valencia in Spain. I'll be talking to someone. I'll be like, is this shit real?
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. And then I'll be trying to speak Spanish and learn. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is mad. So, I mean, I came from a space where, I don't know, bro. I've seen darker days. So it feels like this is a winning streak to be out here even. And I don't want to take the piss out of that opportunity. I don't want to let it go without really just taking it and giving it, and, you know, just hugging it with all I got and really enjoying it and experiencing it. So it's hard because as a creative, and if you're a creative that feels misunderstood, which I dare say anyone who's done something of like potency would probably have that feeling along their journey at some point. Like, damn, no one fucking understands what I'm trying to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like you kind of can close yourself off when you get into those spaces. And I definitely did that for a long time. And being abroad, you just got to snap yourself out of that, bro. And you got to connect, and you got to experience it, man. Even if it means just fucking wherever, just open it up to the experience. So I'm learning to do that. I'm not there. I'm not saying I've clocked it, but I'm learning to do that more, because creatively more comes from it when you interchange ideas. And
for sure,
that's it, bro. Like, yeah. So the winning streak's a funny concept, because I saw it on a podcast. Actually, my brother sent me a podcast, and he said to me, this bloke, what was the guy's name? Fuck it. It's a really popular podcast. And the guy's name, he said, but he had a different analogy. He was just talking. He woke up in the morning. He's like, I woke up on time. I bought a coffee. I'm on a winning streak.
Okay. Yeah, I see the I see where it kind of comes from. Small wins in a day lead to big wins long term, sort of thing.
Yeah. So I just took that as a broader sense because I like that concept. I'm on a winning streak month to month in terms of being in a more positive headspace. But yeah, that's about it, bro.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's good, to be honest with you. It is really good to be in a space where you feel like you're winning. I guess I feel like I'm in a similar space of feeling like you're winning, specifically like with just like music, being able to just produce and create at a consistent level and constantly be kind of sharing. I mean, I don't share much about myself. I will keep it that way. But that's just my boundary. But I'm just in general.
Would you always, bro? I've been a fan of you for so long. So I feel like creatively, you've been on a winning streak for as long as I found out about your work.
Thank you.
Like I remember hearing a song called "Same People" by you, and I think I've told you this before, but it really was one of those moments for me where I was like, this is a new dimension in R&B, in alternative R&B, and I honestly think the only reason more people don't go that far is because I just think they can't.
Yeah, and again, I've had these conversations so many times with people about that, and again, it's I think people have a opinion on it. Not people who don't know. I think the funny thing is, I think people who like my music, it's at a point where they don't care, not in a negative way. They're just like, no, I just love the music and that's it. I'm not,
right.
They are accepting of what I give, if that makes any sense, and not judging me or taking anything away from me because I don't show something else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's not a caveat for them. It's not something that makes them say, oh, X or oh, this. It's just whatever. I think when it comes to the concept of success, I think that's where the only time where it is something that is a battle, where is conventional success.
Like, what do you mean?
Like being the biggest artist or having the most fans or having more fans. I think that's where, being able to do shows. Like I did show, what I mean by that is I've never not done anything other than that, other than show my face on social media. That's the only thing I've never not done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally. And to be honest,
I turn up to sessions as me. I'm not hiding from anything. It's not that.
No, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? So I think,
I do. I think there's something very poetic about that to me too. I don't know why. It's a little bit like, I don't want to be cliche and say names like Banksy and stuff, but there is something really strong about someone doing it for whatever reasons they're doing it, but they're just doing it without almost needing the identification.
Yeah, I think I've explained this on this particular like Code Radio before in general. I've just explained my reasoning and why I started that way and why I've stuck to it for so long. And again, it's not about anything other than just that's it. I started with a very specific reason, but everything has changed, I guess, in the industry since then. But it was a very specific reason. I said that's why I'm doing it, and a lot changed, and I even experienced things that, obviously, as you go to a label meeting or whatever, you turn up as yourself and you experience things and you realize, oh, even if you're not seen as like your music's the only thing that represents you, you still represent your music as a person when you have to meet people, and
totally
you're still going to experience the same things you're to some extent trying to avoid.
Yeah.
So once you acknowledge, but once I kind of got over that, I just stopped caring, and I was like, well, this is just me expressing. This is how I express my art, and I'm okay with it. I'm not really stressed about it. And if I decide to change in the future, then I'll change. I'll basically just doing it on your own terms. It's not going to be someone telling me to do it. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Fully.
And also as well, it's not that serious. If I was to do it, it wouldn't be like this thing. Oh, hi, by the way, there's this reveal. No, it would just be, it'd just be, it it will just be something I'm stepping into conceptually. So, for example, specifically with this album I'm doing right now, with album I just released, it's all based around humans' interaction with machine. And what's that today? It's AI. So all the artwork I'm doing is AI based. It's not because I'm being AI driven.
No, yeah.
It's not really what it is. It's about the world that is being built surrounding the music. So I made all the artworks with AI because, and that stems from something else, but I'm just saying in general, it's building a story around the album. Does that make sense? Like it's all around, it's also everything I'm doing now is all because of what I'm done with the album. It's not how I think everything should be. It's just, the album is this is what I'm doing. This is meeting the perfect center point.
I love that.
And creating content there for that specific purpose. You know what I mean?
I love that. I think that's, it's just artistry, bro. It's artistry. Like you said, like anyone who's making decisions on the level you're making, it's all deeply rooted. And you could probably go so I look at your world that you've built, and I'm stepping into someone who has his own language, and you have to learn the dialect. So I don't, it doesn't, so even using AI and all that, or whatever in the artwork frame, I know it's intentional. Like with artists like you, it's a different ball game because everything's intentional. And a lot of the time, the Easter eggs is where the magic is. I find with artists like you and people who are really intentional with their aesthetic. And I love personally exploring those realms too, but that's fire, bro. That's fire.
I mean, just quickly touch on aesthetic thing. I said it earlier in kind of the intro describing yourself. And it's something I think I wanted to talk about this for a while, but it's the concept that everybody I've seen this a few times, and I don't know whether I agree with it or disagree. I understand why it's being said, but it's something that somehow also doesn't sit right with me. It's you're trying too hard. And and that's just something about that. Just
what when you say that, what do you mean? Because when we had coffee, you mentioned this, and we had a good chat about it.
Yeah, and not you specifically. It was not me specifically. It was the concept that people are saying that artists, when they're trying to create.
No, you said
So they're trying to create. Go on, sorry.
Sorry, bro. Yeah, no, because we had this convo when we had coffee. I think you said your brother mentioned something like this to you conceptually, and we went down that rabbit hole. But I love this because there is a real. Anyway, you take the floor, bro. Like, what do you mean?
It's just it's this thing that people say. I've seen it a few times, whether I agree or disagree. I understand why people say it because that's not how people are consuming things. So when you're trying to have this really cool aesthetic thing and all this stuff, people don't care. So people are saying you're trying too hard. And I understand that, but I do believe there's some people who are not trying too hard. That's just how they see. That's how they create, this. If that makes any sense.
All right, so check this out. So personally, I don't give a fuck if they think that again violates the boundary of audience versus the man in the arena.
Yeah.
The man in the arena has blood on his face. He's been fighting his own demons. He's been fighting his own war. Why the fuck do I care about what you think, bro? You haven't walked my walk. So you're gonna come and comment on how my shit looks based on what you woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
I'm not talking about comments.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you either, bro. No, I'm just talking broad. But general, I'm talking about like Bob the Builder over here comes to me and he's like, bro, I think you're being too mysterious because I can relate to you so hard because my first 7 videos, I wasn't in any of them.
Right.
And I'll be honest, like some of that was insecurity, some of that was vision, some of that was aesthetic, but it was all bottled into a potent creative process that protected me from the outside world, which was very important for me.
Yeah, 100%.
And that was a stepping point for me to get to the next point in my career. And bro, like I wasn't out there seeing a counselor and chatting to people. I was just trying to do my thing and protect my thing. So if that's what it took, that's what it took. And it annoys me when these guys have opinions about creatives and they can affect the creative's route where you don't know who that creative is, bro. You could be talking to the next fucking I don't know what name to say, but the next genius who really opens the doors to something really magic. But you know what? Cancel culture wants, or some fucking fucktard wants to say something about, oh, you're trying too hard, bro. Why are you being like, bro, trying too hard? Why don't you try a little harder? Why don't you fucking actually do something? Why don't you pick up a computer and learn a program? Why don't you pick up a camera and learn how to shoot? Why don't you try and write a verse? Try, bro. Because I get angry because people, they got this thing about being cool, and being cool, they want to make it like it's synonymous with like not talking, sitting in the corner with a cloaked out jacket and a hoodie over your head and pretending like no one can fuck with you. And that energy is just... That's just solid energy, bro. It's nothing cool about that. I grew up with people like that. I've seen people like that. Yeah. I've seen mates who I really, really, really respected be like, oh yeah, I don't fuck with them. I don't fuck. And I'm like, why? Why don't you fuck with them? Like, give me just tell me why, and I'll give me a good reason. It's never a good reason, bro. It's never a solid reason. And a lot of the time it's born out of like some weird jealousy or insecure fucking thing of their own. So like for you, seeing the level you're at, for someone to come and even say you're trying too hard, that shit gets me so fired up, bro. It's the enemy of the artistic process, bro. Like,
no, I get it. I just think it just needs to be. I understand why someone would say that to an artist. This type of artist who essentially, when they create their content, they create it in a specific way that they feel that they like or whatever. I just think sometimes it's just sometimes it needs to be a kind of just an all around it, something that all encompasses. Actually, at the same time, you can just do what you want. I think that's what I mean. Is what I mean.
That's it. That's it.
You can just do what you want. Yeah.
And like all I'll say is, you could say the right thing to the wrong person, and it will be wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
You could say the wrong thing to the right person and it will be right. And all I'm saying is, it's like both of them are right, bro. Yeah. It's all based on their interpretation of reality.
Exactly. Let them create the world that they want to create, and also let them get it wrong in their own time. If it's wrong, let them. I just think sometimes I understand people are seeing real success from a specific way to do things in the algorithm. And I think that is fantastic. There's nothing wrong with it. I actually champion that more than anything. I actually think every artist should be trying their own way of doing that. But the key I always factor in is, but let them do it their own way at the same time. If they want to do it that way, then let them do it that way, and let them find the way that works for them. Because I think how I ever released a song, how a lot of people I've ever met ever released a song, is them finding a way for themselves. And I think that is like so important for artists to create from their lens and just create. And I think what I mean is, I just think if you're always doing what everybody else is doing, you never get to do things your own way. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it's right. I could be completely wrong, and I could say something different in 6 months' time after something happens to me. I'm like, oh, you know what, actually, I should have just done it that way from the beginning, because that's the way. But however, what did I learn for that whole process? I learned, oh, well, actually, there's a reason why I was doing it this way. Oh, maybe I was this. Maybe it was my insecurity. Maybe it's my stubbornness. Maybe it was this. Maybe it was that. But all of that is a part of an artist finding themselves and actually being great at what they do. So it's just sometimes I wish there was a bit more conversation around, hey,
such a hectic conversation, bro. And I fully agree with you. Like, I think, it's so funny. You must have like touched on a button just there, because I just I could feel myself even like that energy, I'm like, oh man, like, because I'm so passionate about, I'm passionate about people who want to fight for an aesthetic. But also I think a lot of my passion and my drive, like you're talking to someone who, like, I'm not the cool kid.
Okay.
I'm not the kid who's like, I'm not the guy who's like, just like walking in and everything's a layup. I'm the guy who's cancelled. I'm the guy that is like, bro, you're a weirdo. I'm the guy who's like, what? You believe in that? What, you believe there's aliens? What, you believe there's an Illuminati or whatever rabbit hole you want to go down to? Like, I'm off on those tangents, and I got my own beliefs and my own reality, and I protect that. And I don't protect it to, like, I'm open to conversations with people who want to riff on that. But the thing, all I'm trying to say is, I'm not walking in with the cliche answer. I'm not walking in looking like the cliche pop star who kind of everyone's like, bro, we just fuck with him. He's cool. He's not trying too hard. I'm the guy who's going to pose the question. I'm like, I'm going to walk in there and do some rap over fucking some weirdo shit. And people are going to be like, what's this guy fucking do with some bleached hair and a mullet? So like it does, a lot of the time it doesn't, what I'm doing doesn't make any sense to a lot of people. And I could see people saying to me, bro, why are you trying so hard? Why are your videos? Why you don't have to do video? Like, why are you trying so hard?
That's just what you want to do. I just think there's nothing wrong with it, and you should just be able to do that. That's all I mean by it. You got to send it, bro. Because at the end of the day, one thing I learned is from top to bottom, no one has the fucking answer, bro. From top to bottom, lad, no one has the answer. So why am I? And if I want to do what they're doing, then I'll probably go. Then I'll see you guys there, and I'll do that. Exactly. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's a way to do things currently that people are saying is to do it. Yeah. Cool. What? If someone doesn't want to do it that way, they should. That should also be okay. Because I think as long as they can stand in the results from them doing it their own way, whether that be bad or good, I think you should allow them that freedom to do it that way. And that's it.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think is the most traditional way? Like, what is that way? Because I don't even know if I know what that is.
I think today there is a categorically specific way, and I've tried and tested. I've done some stuff with that as well, and I just a couple months in, I was like, this is whack. I don't want to do this, so I'm not doing it. So I need to find my way, right? So cool. That I like and I enjoy, and I actually have fun doing to some extent. Without making it too serious, right? So I think there is a way to do, which is essentially, is content. I just think for most artists that's not sustainable. So I think if they can find a way where they make it sustainable and they're consistent, I think that is of more value than just doing it for the sake of doing it for this. And again, when I say that, I don't mean style. I just mean the concept of doing something. So I think they should find a way. The style can sit however they feel. If they want to do it how everyone else is doing it, I think you can learn from that. I think you do learn from that. I learn a lot of the way I produce for myself from trying to produce for other people, trying to produce like other people. And eventually it leads me, it's like learning, it's practice. It leads me down to something where I do something for myself and I'm like, this doesn't feel like anything else. It's like what not to do. Not in a bad way, but like I'm going to do everything. I'm going to do everything to learn what not to do for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Bro. I love that. I love that.
And I think it's quite clear what the way to do things is today, specifically for an independent artist who doesn't have necessarily the big finance or the big this to get from A to Z in the traditional way. But I just think they just need to be more of a conversation surrounding them finding their own way, more than looking at what's hot. And maybe hot's the wrong word, but looking at what's hot and saying, I'm just going to do that. Because I think that, again, that's like I said earlier, that's also fine. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But I know that for me, I would have never made my first song the way it sounds if I was trying to do what other people are doing. I would have essentially tried to sound like someone else, and then eventually been lost because I spent 2 albums doing a bunch of music that, was me trying to sound like someone else, if that makes any sense.
Bro, it makes complete sense. So, and the thing is, for me, is I'm so thankful that you've done whatever process you've done to get to this point, because you're a sanctuary for that vision. And if I want to hear something like that, it's not everywhere on the internet. I hate to say it, like it's your thing. So I think it's
beautiful. I think, sorry to cut you, that's the beauty. That's the beauty in people being like, one of the people I really respect in music is like a Frank Ocean. I don't think no one really sounds like Frank Ocean. If anyone comes out and they sound like Frank Ocean, everyone says you sound like Frank Ocean. That's not their fault. Like, a person could just sound like them. That happens. I've heard that before. But it's because he was so uniquely himself that when anybody sounds even remotely close, it's like, oh no, you'll sound like that person, because it's like that sort of thing. It's being so true to your own uniqueness. That no one can find what you do anywhere else. They just find it with you.
100%.
So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. And just for a second, we'll just take a quick break to play some music, a couple of songs that Driftwood has selected today.
Let's get no warm, let's get no vibe, no daylight, no night. I've been seeing those demons running through my mind. I've been fighting those devils, I ain't trying to hide. If the sun don't shine, if the moon don't glow, I know. Let's go. Let's go. Ain't no telling, I ain't no felon, I ain't no killer. Came home, he just did 7. Shit ain't living, can't dance to this one. There's blood in the red dawn, fight in her soul, fight in her soul. The sun don't shine, the moon don't glow, I know. Let's go. Let's go. That's the district. It's cut in the red. You've been on my mind since I let go of you. I've been everywhere, you've been everywhere too. Things don't always pay, but they gotta be true. I can't really care about the shit that you do. Did you wake up all alone? Wake up all alone. Are you looking out the window, staring at your phone? Wake up all alone. Lately it's your memory that's taking me home. You've been on my mind since I let go of you. looking out the window, staring at your phone. Wake up all alone. Take me into memory that's taking me home.
Okay, so we've kind of spoken about a lot of different things and the different cuts and stuff in here, based on just your story. And I think overall, again, like I said to you earlier, we can speak for hours on music, different topics, just forever. But again, I did want to just again talk about your story, but also just what you got going on now, and what's kind of for the future, any EP or any music coming or anything that anyone should pay attention to, in the near future that you want to share.
Bro, I personally just want to say thank you, man, also for even just giving me the time, because I rate you as just a strong, a really, really, really unique voice in the space, and someone that, so to have the time to have a convo with you, I appreciate it. What I'm up to right now is just more of the same, really. It's about, for me, it's about finding a balance in my mixes, I think is a really strong thing I'm trying to push forward and learn from people who are better than me in that space, which I'm sure you can identify with. It's like when you wear so many hats as a creative, you're shooting and editing your videos, you're singing, you're rapping, you're doing whatever you're doing, you don't get the time to hone the craft in some of the fields. Like mixing is such an important piece of this canvas. So I'm trying to find guys who are really at the higher levels and work with them. I got a guy I'm working with right now, shout out to Mario Garcia, who is really good. There's a lot of guys overseas. There's a lot of good guys everywhere, really, to be honest. So learning from them, improving my sound and attention to detail in that space. I'm finishing, we just came off the back of finishing like a 10 pack. So I'm not sure how that, I'm also kind of going crazy in the genres at the moment, to be honest. I'm really, I think I have a bit of like, my attention just is quite wide in genres. There's so much for me to touch on, but I want to still do it in my way. So I'm playing with a lot of genres and trying to condense it into my voice. But whether I manage to do that will be seen. But I'm having a lot of fun playing with all those colors and those tempos. I've been making stuff, like I just made an EP at 140, which is crazy for a singer.
I mean, I get it. In my head, 140 represents something, but it doesn't mean it's going to sound like that. So there's a lot of room, because it could also mean 70. So exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it's a go to garage tempo, but it's also one of those tempos that can go two ways. So it's how you play with filling the space. And I think you're one of the few people that touches on that paradigm specifically so well, man. It's like you allude to drops in, like that song I mentioned before with Same People. That's a D&B drop, bro.
Okay.
But in my digestion and interpretation of it, it's a D&B drop, but you've filled the space between the vocals with, little vocal splits and chops and pitch, and it's such a nice decoration of that space, and it really alludes so nice to a minimal perspective that doesn't feel. It's just really. I just love people who know how to paint with that nuance.
Wow.
So for me, I'm trying to learn and grow in those spaces as well.
Yeah, just like cross genre, but not just that. It's like be open with where you are. So it's not just because you're in a 130 space doesn't mean that the song has to kind of live within the 130 space. It's more about the tempo is maybe more based on speed rather than it is about genre. And then where that feels, that's kind of what I take by what you're saying and in the creative space. And
you're a huge inspo in that, and there's other guys too that are big inspos. I think remixes are also really important to listen to because you get different people's perspectives on different genres.
I agree. I 100% agree. I think people who this is don't want to sound negative, but people who remix, not mash up, people who remix.
Totally.
They take a song and turn it into something different. Oh man, I could listen to stuff like that all day, where they just turn something into something. You're like, oh wow, like almost like a cover. They just interpret it in their own way. I think that is. I learned from that a lot early on in how to kind of produce things that you're not used to. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah. And that was the approach, man. It's like starting to. It was an accident at first, but then it's like, okay, well, let me just remix all my own music that's unreleased.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just sample yourself.
That's it, man. And just, okay, well, it doesn't work at that tempo. Let me try this. And I think that breaking the rules and breaking the reputations that you put on yourself are really important in that endeavor. It's like, okay, well, why can't I? Like, because, bro, 90% of R&B singers aren't going to go, 140? That's just not. But if you have the luxury of producing your own stuff, all bets are off.
Yes, I agree. I think it's unfortunate. I think although I believe everybody there should be. I actually more believe in the room full of specialists rather than someone with their own hat. I've only done that out of necessity for myself, but right. I believe more in the really good producer and a really good engineer and a really good singer and a really good writer all being in one room, and I think that creates something amazing.
Yeah, for sure. That's unmatched.
But there's something really valuable about kind of being able to do everything yourself, or at least trying to do things yourself. I'll tell any singer who doesn't know how to produce or any producer who doesn't know how to sing to essentially just try it do it from the perspective of you might lock and find something that doesn't actually exist today.
Thank you.
And that is like, that's so
it's so important.
Yeah.
It's so important, man. Just to riff on that, like there's a guy called Octavian. He made a song that I felt was so special. It was called Party Here. And then he made another song called Hands. And you know, he's not a vocalist, but he was kind of doing a melodic thing. And I just think from a creative landscape, it's important. What necessity breeds is exactly what you just said. And I'm only doing this stuff because, you know, the guys who have figured it out, like all the guys I want to work with, they're not fucking with me.
I know what you mean.
You're like, they're not going to work with me. I'm not on their level. It's like, and then the guys that, so there's an in-between point that you sit. It's like, well, I'm just going to, like, you got to become your own Kanye at some point, and you got to become an obsessive. And I really, really respect the obsessives, because you might not do a picture as shiny as the professional, but it's definitely going to be more you.
Yeah, that's basically what I mean. It's just you.
Yeah.
Again, the specialist for a reason, and I think the ideal scenario would be you have a specialist do things for you, and you collaborate with specialists. I think that's ultimately the gift of the art space, collaboration at a high level. You know what I mean? Put in the best architect with the best construction company essentially makes the best building in theory, right? That's the theory, but there could just be some guy who had a bit of experience in construction who's an architect who's like, I mean, we should, what? You know, I think it just makes you, it makes you ask a different question. That's all I mean. It makes you ask different. So the question you ask is, you know, something like, I remember, there's no I don't know how architecture works really, but I'm just saying, or like a MacBook. Oh, someone might say, there's no mouse. It's like, yeah, we don't need a mouse. You only can kind of really come to that conclusion by someone who doesn't really have any knowledge of it and is kind of looking at it from a completely outside perspective, because everybody else would, the specialist would come and say, well, I need a mouse. Kind of get what I'm saying? I'm not
bro, that's actually really like insightful, like, because it's quite often the people that didn't realize there was a reputation at stake that break the boundaries.
Essentially, yeah.
Like if you grow up in a scene, that's why like being part of a scene is cool, but being reliant on a scene, you're essentially joining a hive mind.
Yeah, because you have to do
it's like it's like, oh, if I don't dress like them, they're not gonna think I'm cool. It's like, bro, you need a fucking the best thing that ever happened to me was getting, like, I don't know if I'm canceled, but it was like no one fucking with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best thing that ever happened to me, having no reputation to live up to.
Yes, I think that's important. I think
no one cares. I could put out a song, no one cares. It's the best thing ever.
I think that's important for you, for the individual, more than anything, for the individual, how they interpret themselves and their own personal confidence and growth. That's what I think is super key, super important. So I'm with you there, man. And that's where ultimately, you know, as artists, we just want to, again, I think I've said this so many times, we just want to create dope shit and hopefully people like it, and in its core. But there's a defiance in your production. Like, I don't know where that comes from, but I hear it. Like, I'm like, this is not normal production. I think maybe there is, but over time, it's practice, isn't it? Over time, you get used to yourself and you start doing things you want. You know, some things are intentional and some things are just kind of what you do. You don't. It's more just like the universe telling you exactly what you think you should do. So I think that that's definitely possible. That's there. But I think defiance is the wrong word. I would say like progression. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean. But you do want to have your own style. That's that. You know, I definitely live by that. You do want to have your own style. So there's some things that you might always pick. There's some things that you always might go to musically, like chords that you might always just pick, and or melodies vocally you might always just pick. That are just your thing. And like I said, for me, like a Frank Ocean or a James Blake, they are like the kings of their own thing, you know. Specifically something like James Blake, I've never heard, and I could be being completely ignorant here, I've never heard anyone else who sounds like James Blake. Never in my entire life. I've never heard anyone sound like James Blake. I've never heard anyone sound like Bon Iver. And I know deep down, like Kate Trinada, I know deep down there are subgenres, like umbrellas from those people, where there's just even more intense versions of what they do, which maybe, you know, wrongfully or rightfully I haven't delved into yet, like those particular people. But those kind of umbrella heads, I think they kind of make a lot of things move, and they're like some of the biggest inspirations for everybody. Like, I don't think anyone is not inspired by James Blake, from Coldplay to Jay-Z. I think we'll listen to James Blake and be like, that guy's doing something. You know what I mean? Whether I like it or not, it's another conversation, but that guy's doing something. Nah, so it's so important. Those names are so important, man. They're just fierce, bro. They're fearless and they're fierce, and they know who they are in a lot of ways. When you listen to their stuff, you're like, even I don't really know what James Blake has done with his business, but even the decisions I've heard about, like going independent and the way he's pushing forward, like that just shows it's just an extension of his creative process. It's like, bro, you're like, he's his own man. He thinks for himself, and it's special. It's very special, and it's him doing that gives freedom. It sets a really good example for everybody. Yeah, it opens the doors for us to continue doing what we're doing. It makes us it validates our beliefs that what we're doing is right as well, which is important. But it also validates what we're doing. You know, we sometimes need to pivot and try some other different things. So Yeah, man. I mean, I appreciate you just taking the time to have a conversation with me and just like just shoot it, just go back and forth on some ideas. And again, I know we could speak forever about many different topics because I know that we're both sort of passionate in different areas. So, but again, I just appreciate you taking the time and just jamming with me. And yeah, everybody check out Driftwood socials. I am Driftwood. Is any other socials? Instagrams I am Driftwood. Is Twitter and everything the same or no?
It's so personally, likewise, bro. Appreciate you. Thanks for the time. So it's Instagram I am Driftwood. So Instagram's I am Driftwood. I think YouTube Driftwood Music, or just type in one of my songs. Like go to YouTube, type in Driftwood Logout, and you'll see me. Spotify Drift. There's so, you know what's crazy? I need to sort this shit out. There's so many Driftwoods. So like if anyone out there goes to check out my music and you hear the bluegrass band called Driftwood, that's not me. So maybe follow the song on Spotify, Driftwood Logout, and then you can click on my channel. But my presence, I need a bit of work on my marketing, my presence, and right now I've been so deep on the creative process. I haven't really come up for air, but this year I intend to really navigate that space a bit better. But for those guys who have seen my stuff, I'm grateful, man. But
100%.
Yeah.
I'll tag you in everything. So there'll be something direct there from this as well. But we'll finish off with a couple more songs from yourself and one of your favorite songs that you told me that you wanted to share. We'll end on that. And again, thank you for listening and tuning into this episode of Code Radio. Have a great week. And
you too.
Take care. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Peace.
The statue of a man, it's like a tree standing tall, but a sweet little woman, yeah, can make a big man fall. He can be strong like Samson and big like Hercules, but two sweet lips can put a man down on his knees. That's the power of a woman. Oh, that's the power of a woman. Oh, yes it is. Oh, yeah. Dig this. When a man loves a woman, he might forget his name, but two loving arms can make a bad man change, yeah. She can wrap a man around her finger, lead him around by the nose. She got a mojo working wherever he goes now. That's just the power of a woman. Do you believe that's the power of a woman? Oh, yes it is. Oh, yeah. The power of a woman
That's something that'll never move.
Code.
It could all be so simple, but you'd rather make it hard. Loving you is like a battle, and we both end up with scars. Tell me who I have to be to gain some reciprocity, 'cause no one loves you more than me, and no one ever will. No matter how I think we grow, you always seem to let me know it ain't working, it ain't working. And when I try to walk away, you hurt yourself to make me stay. This is crazy, this is crazy. Is this just a silly game that forces you to act this way, forces you to scream my name, then pretend that you can't stay? Tell me who I have to be to gain some reciprocity, 'cause no one loves you more than me, and no one ever will. No matter how I think we grow, you always seem to let me know it ain't working, it ain't working. And when I try to walk away, you hurt yourself to make me stay. This is crazy, this is crazy. Care for me, care for me. I know you care for me, there for me, there for me. Said you'd be there for me, cry for me, cry for me. You said you'd die for me, get to me, get to me. Why won't you live for me? Oh, you, where were you when I needed you? Oh, no matter how I think we grow, you always seem to let me know it ain't working, it ain't working. And when I try to walk away, you hurt yourself to make me stay. This is crazy, this is crazy.